Start streaming. Okay. And I'll do my intro and then you introduce yourself. Hey, what's up? It's your girl Neek, and you're tuned in to Neek at Night. I have a live interview that I'm going to conduct for you guys. I have Erica with me, but before she speaks, I want to give a brief introduction as to who she is, and then she'll speak and give her input on the situation, and we'll just go from there. So basically, all of you have heard of the situation with Chris Sales. You guys heard that, there was a pending case with this whole impersonating a police officer thing. And now we have the police officer who is involved in the situation is going to be speaking out about the situation. If you guys can hear me, drop the half moon emoji so that I can know that we are on board and I'm going to get this interview started. But yeah, so basically, like I said, everybody knows about this Chris Sales police officer impersonation, and we have the police officer who was involved. So say hi to everybody, and then once she says hi, I want to make sure that you guys can hear her. Drop the crown emoji. So say hi, Erica.
Hey, how are y'all?
Okay, so hopefully they can hear you as well. Okay, so for the people who don't know you or don't know the situation, because there's a lot of people who heard about the situation, but they don't really know the ins and outs of what happened. So introduce yourself, introduce your profession, and then tell them how this kind of started.
Okay. Well, majority of you may not know what my YouTube channel name, but it's Loved by Erica, L-U-V-D, by Erica with a C. I was the police officer that let them use my car when they done, whatever it was called, pulling people over in the hood. Yeah, it was not my cop car. It was my personal car. I drive a 2018 Ford Focus. And I ended up reaching out to Vaughn because I wanted him to help me start my YouTube channel. I needed somebody to teach me how to edit. And he said that he would for a fee of $600 cash. And I paid him $600 cash. We scheduled a day. Me and my camera guy drove 2 hours to Houston, Texas. I went to my hotel room. Later on that day, I went to M. Vaughn's house, which is in Richmond, Texas. They don't live in Houston. And that's about, I would say, 30 minutes from Houston. Okay. About 35 minutes from Houston.
Okay. So just to kind of pause you. So basically, you decided to do collaborations with M. Vaughn. And that's how the beginning of all this all started. And you paid M. Vaughn $600 to do a collaboration.
Yes.
Okay. So what did you? Okay. So just to be clear, you are a police officer. You work as a police officer, and then you have a YouTube channel. So let me know what your expectations were with this collab, what you were looking to get out of it, and what they promised you.
Okay. Well, when I first talked to Vaughn, I had let him know that I'm 25 years old and I have been through a lot of things in my life. And aside of being a law enforcement officer, because I did not want to be a police officer for the rest of my life, because it's getting dangerous out here. Like, we are getting killed. I told him that I wanted to travel around the world and motivate people. And I'm looking at his subscribers, and he wasn't the first one I had reached out to. He was just the only one that had responded. And I was like, oh, snap. So I knew that once we started collabing on videos, that the traffic from his channel will leak over to my channel. So then whenever I would, start booking events to actually speak in front of a crowd of people, I knew that I would have a lot of people attend based off of my subscribers.
Okay, so you wanted to use their platform to get subscribers so that you can get attention on yourself. People would kind of know who you are. And then from, you getting a following, you getting a fan base, then you wanted to then go out and be able to do like speaking engagements and things like that.
Yes.
Okay.
Um, hold on, just a minute.
Okay.
Okay. Sorry about that.
Okay, go ahead. So
Okay.
from there, you wanted to then do speaking engagements and everything after that.
Yes.
Okay. So continue.
I'm sorry. I have some. Hold on. I'm trying to see who this is. I don't mean to mess up your live, but
Somebody's driving around there or something?
yeah, there's somebody walking with a flashlight. Maybe they're lost or something.
Okay.
Yeah, I live deep in the country. Okay, I figured out what it is. Yeah, one of their horses or something got loose. But okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay, so what did I ask you? I forgot what I asked you.
I'm so sorry.
Okay, so basically, the last thing I remember was, you wanted to get attention to your YouTube channel from linking up with them, and
I needed a bigger audience.
Right. Okay. Go ahead. So you paid them $600. You decided to collab with them. Then after you collab with them, they told you what? Like, how did it go from you collabing with them to them doing this impersonation of a police officer because they used your car and everything to do this prank? So explain the transition.
Well, prior to me coming to Houston, he asked me what I did for a living. Vaughn did. Okay. And he was the only one at the time that I had a conversation with. And I told him that I was a police officer. And somehow, only God knows, he took the information back to Chris, and then both of them came up with an idea of this prank, which was the pulling people over.
Okay. So, as a part of your job, you're a police officer. What part of, like, did you think, like, okay, this is something that can get me in trouble? When they brung the idea to you, what was your response about them saying that they wanted to do this prank?
Well, like I said, I had only talked specifically to Vaughn. I gave him the do's and don'ts. And the thing is, I'm not an idiot. Like, people may think that I am, but I'm not. I'm not stupid by a long shot, because I know how hard it took for me to even call myself a police officer. The very first thing I did was I opened up that big, thick law book, and I started doing some research. And it says for theatrical purposes and something else, I can't quite remember right now, but it says that you can utilize police lights. So what Vaughn asked me to do was completely legal. He asked me, could he use my car to do a stage prank, to pull over stage people. He verbalized it would be Chris, the other two, Justin and Nair, and he said that they were going to be down the street from his house.
Okay.
Not in Houston, was never mentioned.
Okay. So where were you at the time of this prank? Because they had your car, and from my understanding, they also had your police badge. What was the do's and the don'ts? What did you say that they could do versus what they could not do?
Okay. Vaughn had asked me, I want to say it was an average of 3 times could he use my badge, and I told him no, because I would lose my job. And a lot of people are wondering, like, well, why would you leave the badge in there? I didn't leave it in there like, oh, I'm leaving it in here for him to use. I've been an officer for about a year, and it's like muscle memory. I've also had issues because just looking at me, I do not look like a police officer at all. And so I've had issues in the past where I would get pulled over because of the lights that I have on the outside of my vehicle, and they would never believe that I was a police officer. So to solve that, whenever I would get off work, I would put my badge. It's like it's a police holder, badge holder. It goes around the mirror of your vehicle. I would just hang it there, and I would leave it. I would even get out of my car.
Wait. It said, wait. Oh, the stream resumed. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I would, whenever I would finish my shift, I would just hang it on my mirror, and, the next day I'd go to my shift, I would take it off, put it back on. So it was like muscle memory. Like I left it in there for them to use it, because I had already told them no. It's just at the time that they took my vehicle, I was in a building.
Wait. Why is the stream messing up? It says offline now, and now it says it resumed again. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so at the
It's
time
going
that they
in
took
and-
my
Hold on, wait. I don't know what's going on. My stream is going in and out. Like it's saying, are you guys still here on the live? Because it keeps going in and out. I don't know why. I don't know why my stream is going in and out. Are you guys still here? Let me turn off my Wi-Fi on my phone. Maybe. Okay, they're still there. Okay. I don't know what happened. I'm sorry, y'all. I don't know what's going on. This is my first time doing it this way. Okay, they're still here. Okay. All right. So, okay, so basically from what I'm getting is, okay, so you had your badge in your car. So you told him what couldn't he do?
Well, it wasn't I didn't verbalize specifically like don't do this, don't do this. It was like whenever he would come and ask me, like he asked me could he use my badge, I said no, you cannot do that because I will lose my job.
Okay.
So, and at the time they took my vehicle, I was filming with M. I was literally in the middle of a recording. We were filming, I think it was Celebrity Smash Your Past.
Okay.
And so like my mind wasn't okay, your badge is in your car, because like I said, that's something that I have done every day for the past year and I've never had any issues. But then again, I've never had anybody else drive my car besides me. So when they took my car, I was in the middle of recording, so my mind wasn't on what they were doing at all.
Okay, so just to be clear, okay, so you were recording with M and you guys were their own thing. They asked if they could use your car so that they can do their own thing and do their own prank.
Well, it was already agreed upon that they were going to use my car. I just didn't know when. Vaughn just specifically, for whatever reason, waited, and I do feel he done this on purpose. It's kind of like to throw her off her game. I feel like he purposely, he walked in a room, asked for my keys. Hey, we're going to go ahead and do this prank. Because, like, I'm just handing him the keys. I'm not thinking of what's in my vehicle, especially something that's muscle memory for the past year, like my badge. So, he asked for the keys at a time that I was in the middle of recording with M, and that's where my focus was, to be honest. I was more focused on that video, which I shouldn't have been, so I'm completely wrong about that. But that's where my focus was.
Okay. And so to the people who say, because there's a lot of people who assume that you're a security guard. There was a lot of people who assume it keeps going in and out. I don't know why it keeps going in and out. Maybe, should I restart?
Do you think maybe it's my service?
No, because your service is fine. It's mine that's going in and out. So I don't know if I should restart the live or what. I don't know. Because it's saying that my video output is low, but I don't know. I don't know what's going on, but okay. So anyway, so there's a lot of questions as to you being a police officer. There's a lot of people who say, is she really a police officer? Was she an actor? Was she a security guard? Were you an actual active police officer at the time?
Yes, I was. It was actually pretty funny because somebody said I looked like a security guard from Ross. And like I said, that was one of the main reasons why I kept my badge across my mirror, because just looking at me, I blend in with civilians. Like, I'm 25, but I look 16. So nobody would have ever guessed that I was an actual police officer. Yes, I had a badge. Yes, I had the uniform. I had the gun. I have my certificate. I have pictures, Facebook. Well, I had them on Instagram. I think I still have like maybe one picture on my Instagram, but I started to delete a lot of stuff once it took place. I just wanted some type of sanity, because people were coming down hard on me, calling me the world's stupidest cop and stuff like that. So, but yeah, I have proof of all of that. My police academy graduation certificate, I have no reason to lie, especially about being a police officer, because I've almost gotten shot before, so I would never lie about that, ever.
Okay. So that's just the answer to the people who had questions about whether or not she was a police officer. Okay, so then after they do this prank, right? So move us forward with the story. Hello?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay. Okay, so move us forward with the story, okay? So they do this prank. You're with M. They're doing this prank. Then the prank is over. You get your car back. What happens going forward? You return back to work. What happens after that?
Well, because they waited so long, it was just like, yeah, I was supposed to have been at the house like noon that day, but then they waited till like 6 or 7, and at that time I hadn't saw my son, my 5-year-old, like in like 3 days, so I wanted to get back with him. But also, Vaughn had told me that Chris wanted to collab with me, so I was willing to wait it out. But it was like, okay, y'all are taking forever in my car. That's when I really started to suspect something. I was like, wait a minute, y'all have been gone like a long time in my car just to be down the street. So I would text Vaughn's phone. I'm like, okay, where y'all at? And he's like, oh, we're almost finished. And I'm like, okay, where y'all at? You just said that. And he's like, oh, we're almost finished. Next thing you know, he comes walking in the door. He hands me my keys. He even put up like a little clip of it, but it was like the beginning. But he didn't let me see enough of it for me to go, don't upload that. Like, you cannot upload it. Like, you're going to get in serious trouble. He didn't do that. He just showed where, like, the little intro. And then, matter of fact, he showed where they had pulled over Chris. And I never thought nothing of it because, okay, it's Chris. Matter of fact, the clip that he showed, it never even showed a badge. Now that I think about it, because that would have been a red flag right there. Like, you cannot upload that. Like, we both gonna get in serious trouble. So, I asked him, I remember, I said, well, is Chris gonna collab with me? He said, well, I think, if I'm not mistaken, he said that Chris and I want to collab, or Chris was, no, I take that back. He said that Chris was on his way. So I waited about another hour. Chris never did show up. I said, okay, I'm gonna go get my son. Mind you, I live 2.5 hours from Houston. My son is more important than Chris. Chris is still gonna be there. So I left.
Okay.
And later on that day, I believe that's when it was posted. I was unaware that it was posted. I got a phone call from one of my relatives in Dallas. She said, have you seen the video? I said, no. She said, you need to take a look at this. And I went to the video, and I'm watching it, and the first thing I see is Nair. He was the one that was arrested that had the dreads. I seen that he had my badge around his neck, and he was flashing it like you can even see the department I worked at. Like, you have to pause it and zoom in, but it's visible. And I remember going, I'm about to lose my job. Like, that was like the first thought in my mind was, I'm about to lose my job.
Okay, so when you seen the video, you seen that he had it around his neck. Did you call them and say, take this video down? I'm gonna get in trouble. We're gonna get in trouble. Like, what? Did you contact them after that, or you just let it ride?
My initial reaction was I text Vaughn and I said, I'm about to get fired. And he said, why? And like, I hadn't even made it through the video yet. Mind you, I'm just now looking at it. It's the beginning of the video. I see that Nair is in the back he's wearing it like it's some type of necklace or something. And he's flashing that. And I paused it and I text Vaughn. I said, I'm about to get fired. And he said, why? And I said, because y'all have my badge flashing it in front of the camera when I told you that you cannot use my badge. And he said, it'll be fine. And in my head, I'm like, okay, I don't have his password to take the video down. But
okay, but why you didn't stress it like, no, take it down. Like, no, take it down.
Oh yeah, definitely. And
I would have pressed him like I would have drove 2 hours like, no, take it down.
I definitely told him that he should take the video down.
Okay.
I definitely said that. A lot of people, there was like another question somebody asked, well, why didn't you tell him to take it down? I did. I have so many text messages as proof. I even FaceTimed him. I said, we're both going to get in trouble. And the funny thing about it was I knew it was coming. I just did not know when. Because I remember it like it was yesterday. I had contacted some other police officers that do not belong to my department. I told them the situation at hand, and they were like, yeah, that's bad. You need to find a way to get him to remove that video. But it was nothing that I can do about it because, like, I don't have their password. These people, like, they do things for views. Like, that's how they get paid. Meanwhile, I was getting paid from put my life in danger every day. So I can't tell the next person what to do with, their channel.
I mean, you paid them for the collab. You paid them $600. They should listen to your input. You paying some type of bill.
Well, Vaughn had this cocky attitude. I can't really explain it. And Vaughn also spent many of the text messages that we would have. He would flirt a lot. So it was very hard for me to just talk to him. Like, even in the video where I fake pretended to arrest M, it's still uploaded. People in the comments would be like, "Oh, she's a beautiful cop." He would screenshot it to me and be like, "They're not lying." He would just make me feel like uncomfortable. And so when I seen that I wasn't getting anything out of him, like I said, it was just a matter of time. Like, and I was scared as well because it's my car.
Okay.
So even if I would have went to my chief and told him about it, it still would have resulted in me getting fired.
So you just So what about? Because when I was so off of camera, we had a conversation. Well, we actually talked prior, and you told me whatever happened. You spoke about you also giving $700 to Nair, right? So Nair is the other guy who got arrested with them for impersonating a cop. Did you then contact him? Like, look, I done gave you $600, Nair. I even gave you $700 because you said he was, living with them. Did you try to contact him to get it down, or?
Wait, the money?
No, to get the video down. Like, I invested money in y'all.
No, at the time, I didn't have anybody else's number except for Vaughn.
Okay.
I didn't get their number. I didn't get Nair and Justin's number. I ended up DMing them on Instagram, but it was like 2 weeks later.
Okay.
And I didn't even see M anymore. Like, she just, like, whenever I had came, she was stuck in the room. And I didn't even honestly see Vaughn. And I didn't even, my first day coming back to Houston to collab with Nair, Justin, and the other kid that lives with them, they came to my hotel room in Houston. So it wasn't like I went to their house the first day.
Okay.
And then when I came the second day, I went to their house. M and Vaughn was nowhere there, so it was just us.
Okay. So the prank happened, the situation happened, you knew that it was something that you could get in trouble with. You go to work, and then what happens after that?
Okay, I ended up working July 4th. The thing was, I kid you not, I was speaking to these other sergeants about it. They belong at a different police department. And my initial mind was I need to tell my chief. Like, I don't know why, but I just felt like I needed to. And they were telling me that I shouldn't. I should have followed my first mind, but either way, I still feel like it would have resulted in the same thing. But it would have been like, okay, like, she's not hiding nothing. So because I did what they said do, and to just not say nothing until it just hits the fan, it just blew up in my face. Because that was and I need to tell my chief about this.
So how did your chief find out about it? How did it blow up?
Well, when they got arrested, I'm not able to say who, but one of them, if not all, told the investigator when they were arrested that I gave them permission to do everything that they did in that video, and that's so not untrue at all. And the investigator, because the badge is plain as day, it had my department name on there. They contacted the department. They gave them my first and last name, which I believe at that time the only person that knew my first and last name was Nair, because when they came over to my hotel, they were actually parking their cars in valet, and they were telling them to charge it to my name, and I didn't even know about that until after they had left for me. So I was already planning to not collab with them anymore anyway.
Yeah, they sound like they was juicing you, girl, because you done gave one this and one that, and you done spent a lot of money with them, and they was just juicing you, sound like. But so
yeah, so I was in Dallas at the time, Dallas, Texas, and my phone rang early that morning. I want to say it was probably maybe 3 or 4 days after they had got out of jail. And I answered the phone. It wasn't my chief, it was my captain. And he said, Erica, Chief said to turn in everything. He said, bring in your gun, your badge, your uniform, turn in everything. And I just said, okay, because maybe I just expected more. Maybe I just expected them to be like, okay, what happened? But because he was so demanding and they were so mad, I just said, okay. And that was that. And I even waited till like they were like, I think it was like a weekend. I went to turn in my things because at that time I didn't know what was gonna happen. I didn't know, like, you know how sometimes you can self-incriminate yourself by saying the wrong thing. I didn't know if it was gonna be one of those matters. So I wanted to keep my mouth shut until I got a lawyer, and that's what I did.
Okay, so your captain called you. They told you to turn in your badge, your gun, and everything. So pretty much, whenever you're a police officer and they say turn in your badge, that means you're done. You're fired.
Oh yeah,
you're done.
Definitely.
Okay.
And when you get fired, they give you either a dishonorable discharge or honorable. And a lot of people don't even know what that means. Dishonorable means that they don't want you to work in the state of Texas as a police officer ever again. Honorable means that job well done. Well, they didn't even ask me what happened, but they slapped me with that big fat dishonorable discharge based off of what these 4 people had told the Houston Police Department investigator. So either way, is this an unfair situation?
So just to recap and to keep everybody on track. So basically, they get arrested. Then from them getting arrested, somebody, you can't name who, tells that you said that they could do everything that they did. They said that you gave them permission. Then after
actually, I can say one of the people that may have or may have not said that, due to the fact that Vaughn actually put on his story when he was arguing with another person. I guess he scammed them out of some money. He put that he had permission from the police officer, which I am the only police officer that he's had contact with like that. And he said that I gave him permission to do what he did. So let's just get that out there. He was one of them.
So Vaughn told that you gave him permission, and then you don't know exactly which other ones said that you gave them permission. But from him saying that you gave him permission, then of course police officers, okay, we got an officer that did XYZ, they call you captain, you get relieved of your duties, they tell you to release your badge, and then after that, do you contest it? Do you say, hey, wait a minute, once you get your lawyers involved, do you say, your side of it? Do they ever find out? Do they ever get to the bottom of it? Like, how, are you able to get your job? I know I'm asking you a lot of questions, but
Oh, yeah. I'm following with you.
Yeah.
Okay. So when that happened, I was even more pissed because it's one thing to get fired over something that you have done, but it's a whole nother ball game when you get fired over what somebody else has done and you had nothing to do with it, like literally nothing to do with it. I wouldn't say nothing because yes, I did give them permission, and yes, I was stupid enough to, believe that they were going to do what they said that they were going to do. So I do take fault for that. I will never not take fault for that. That's a lesson learned. Like that's a mistake I'm never ever going to make again. So, but when it wasn't until when they fired me, like I said, it's called an F5. They checked on their dishonorable. They sent it off to the state of Texas, which is Austin. And, they sent it off to this Austin, which is, the state that conducts, like they're over all law enforcement officers. They sent it there. I get it in the mail, and I'm like, are you kidding me? Because that means that I can never, ever work in the state of Texas as a police officer ever again. And a lot of people don't know this, but it took me 3 times to finally graduate from the police academy. The first time I was kicked out because of my color. The second time I wasn't focused because of that. So I had to go through a 3rd time, and the 3rd time was harder than the first and the second time. So I put blood, sweat, and tears to be able to walk around with a gun and a badge. So what I did was I went to go find a lawyer. I spent out a lot of money to go find a lawyer just for them to not even change my F5 to honorable. They changed it to a general, which is not bad and it's not good. But whenever they change it to a general, if you go to a job interview, they're going to ask you what happened.
Okay.
So they're going to find out.
Oh, wait. Okay, so I'm going to stop you right there. Okay, so I seen in the chat, somebody was like, what is it, like, what does Chris's role have to do with ending your police career? How is it connected? And I talked to you about this off camera. If you can kind of shed light on how Chris is like one of the big benefactors in you not being able to, regain work again.
Well, like I said, I really cannot say which individuals were the ones that said that, I gave them permission to do it, but I named one of them. And the thing is, I never had a conversation with Chris. I never had his number, never seen him in person, none of that. And the sole reason why he was even in my car is because Vaughn called me and said that he wanted to collab with me on some YouTube videos. Mm-hmm. And so it's just funny how it's like you're not going to introduce me to him before, you put him in my car. But once again, they took my car. And when I say they, I mean Vaughn, Justin, and Nair. They took my car when I was in the middle of a recording with M. So it wasn't like, I wasn't like just there. Like if y'all understand what I'm saying. And so after they done the video or whatever, and I left and went home to get my son, I went back later on and I said, well, Bud, I wouldn't say later on. It was like, I was on the way back to my house. Like I said, it was a 2.5 hour drive. Mm-hmm. I remember texting him and I said, well, when did Chris want to collab? And he said, well, he don't want to do it anymore. So now I'm aware that Chris never wanted to collab with me. It was, the sole purpose was to get my vehicle. And they had to come up with any way to get it.
So you feel like they kind of finessed you because Chris had the bigger platform. So of course, you're going to want to work with Chris because he has even more followers. So they kind of tricked you into saying that Chris, so you don't know if Chris ever even said it.
I emailed Chris. I even DM'd him on Instagram and no response at all. And the thing was, I'm not going to lie. I have been a fan of Chris, was a fan of Chris Sails for about, a good year and a half. Like, I would watch all him and Queen's videos. So I already knew who Chris was. And that was how I learned who M and Vaughn was because of them. Mm-hmm. So, like I said, I'm completely unaware of their history of them scamming people. I'm just looking at the good videos that they're putting out. I'm not even reading comments. I'm just watching the videos that they're putting out, and I'm clicking off. And because at that time, I was in a police academy, so I didn't have time to just do all the extra stuff,
Right. Okay, so what I was trying to get at, because when we talked about this previous, you said that now going forward, when you try to go on a job interview to become a cop again, that's whose name pops up. If you could kind of elaborate on that.
Yes. Okay. So, well, I'm trying to explain this the best way I know how. Technically, I'm still a police officer. I'm just not commissioned. Okay. So, let's say if someone was to walk in front of me right now with a gun trying to kill somebody, I can't do anything about it because I'm not commissioned. I'm basically considered a civilian. My license has not expired. So in order for me to protect and serve my community, I have to have a department pick up my commission. Okay. That way, basically get sworn in, take an oath, and then I'm able to get my badge and gun or whatever. But I have gone to about 6 or 7 interviews since that has happened. And because my F5 State General on there, they already know. They just want to see if you're going to lie. That's the purpose of a general. So really, my ex-department just kind of just set me up for failure, and they knew that. So I get in the interview, they start asking me questions. Mm-hmm. I'm answering them, and then they want to know about this whole impersonating a police officer thing. So I get into details about it, and they've already done their research on whose platform is bigger. And that's another thing about law enforcement that you guys do not know is, like, it's super, super funny. I'm just going to leave it at that. And all they talk about is Chris Sails. And I'm literally, like, I just went to an interview last Monday. And Chris Sails' names get brought up. And I'm like, yes, I let him use my vehicle. That was a part of the deal. Mm-hmm. And then they want to know more information about Chris Sails. And I'm like, I can't give you that based off of what one of the other guys said. I took his word that Chris wanted to do, collabs, and I never seen him. Never said hi. Don't even, honestly, before that video didn't know when he drove, didn't even know he was even with Parker at the time, you know. And so it's just very frustrating because then the next question is, well, why would you let somebody use your car that you don't even know, that you've never seen before, that you've never had a conversation with?
Right.
And that's when it gets into some other stuff that I'm not really going to say. But at the end of the day, they're not going to hire me. They just want to know about Chris Sails. Like, they've done their research on him. They know he has money. And that's just what it is.
Right. And so somebody in the comments, they said, I just seen one comment go by, and it was something along the lines of, because people feel like from this explanation, just to explain to you guys what's going on, she got in trouble behind Chris Sails doing the impersonating a police officer. So just because I didn't put everybody's name, it will be a longer caption. If Chris Sails, Emmett Vaughn, Nair, yeah, all of them are the culprit in this situation. They all impersonated a police officer using her vehicle, her badge. So Chris Sails used her vehicle, her badge. Nair used her vehicle, her badge. Vaughn used her vehicle, her badge. They all used her stuff. So just because I didn't put everybody's name in there, Chris Sails is in trouble for impersonating a police officer from using her things.
And another thing is, I like the way you put that, but another thing is, Chris Sails has the biggest platform of all of them. So he was on BET impersonating a police officer. He was on the news flashing a person. So it's like, yes, it's 4 of them, but since Chris Sails has the bigger platform, he's the face of this whole thing right now. So that's the reason why when I go to these interviews, they only want to talk about him because
he's the only one that she was 16. Hold on, wait. Somebody said in the chat, she said that she's 16. She never said that she's 16. She said she looks 16, but she's 25. But go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay, so go ahead. You said that he was Chris Sails is the face of this.
That's the reason why. And it's like not shaming the other 3 because it's all 4 of them really is to blame for this. Because I was nowhere in the vehicle, but it's because Chris Sails have a bigger platform, and then with Queen, you know, she's on the Shade Room on the BET page on Instagram, and so they're always going to be connected. They don't care about the other 3, to be honest. They only care about Chris Sails. So when I go to these interviews, they're not seeing Nair, Justin, and Vaughn on other pages. They're not seeing them being the face of these pages. All they see is Chris Sails. And that's why I get so frustrated because this dude was driving my car. And I have nothing to show for it. I've never had a conversation with this guy at all. And to be honest, this whole thing, really, it reflects on Vaughn. I can't really just blame Chris, Nair, or Justin because the only one that knew the do's and don'ts was Vaughn because I didn't have the other 2 numbers at the time. And again, I never spoke to Chris before. So I just feel like all of them at this point is mad at me because of their behavior. But if they really just sit down and think, the only person that they really should be mad at is Vaughn. Because whatever happened when Chris Sails got in their vehicle, I don't know. Because they started off good. Minus Nair having my badge. Now, let me get that out there. Because they were not supposed to have my badge. And Vaughn knew that. Because he asked me 3 times. And my camera guy is my witness. I have text messages to prove it and all of that. So when they pulled, the very first person that they pulled over was Chris. That's what he said. That it was going to be a stage prank down the street from his house, pulling over each other, and it was going to be staged. Now, whatever happened when Chris got behind the wheel, I don't know if, like, Chris is a ringleader or whatever. I don't know. But somehow they did total opposite of what was discussed, and it has cost me a lot. Like, I'm not even on front. Like, it's costing me everything. It's not even cry right now because I have gone through a lot with this situation, but at the same time I've learned and I've tried to look at the positive thing about it. Maybe law enforcement was not meant for me. I'm a single mother and somebody has to live to take care of my son. So if I go get shot and killed on a line of duty, then my son is not going to have anybody. So instead of just looking at it in a negative way, and y'all have seen where I have been I want to say a couple months ago, I would say little stuff in my videos. And I'm not gonna lie, because I was hurt. I was mad. But I mean, everybody make mistakes, and eventually these guys are gonna learn, that when you do stuff, there's consequences, and karma is real. So, like, I wish all of them the best. Like, I don't hate neither one of them. I just don't want to have any interactions with them. I'm always open for a conversation. So, if Chris Sales, Vaughn, if they want to call me, well, they can't call me because I have the number. But if they want to DM me so that we can have some type of record, because I'm not doing no phone calls. Like, I have lost a lot behind these people. So we need some paper trail. So if they want to DM me on Instagram, I'm open for a conversation, but I don't hate them at all. I don't. And I know everything happened for a reason.
Okay, so somebody wanted me to ask you in the chat. They wanted to know, because it seems like, of course like what you're supposed to do and what you're not supposed to do. And sometimes, like, when you like somebody or somebody's flirting with you, trying to get at you, or you have a crush on them, it kind of like drops down, put blinders over you on what you should do. Was it like, did you like anybody, or,
No.
like, were you trying to, like, was there like some type of relationship going on? Like, why were you so trusting of them?
Honestly, I don't know. I can get deeper into the conversation. I mean, not the conversation, but I can get deeper into that question. But then it would just put everybody, like, all the way in my business. But because I've spoken about this on my channel, I guess I can go ahead and answer it. I got married last year, September 9th. And 4 months later, my mother-in-law at the time, she paid for the divorce. So I went through a period of humiliation. How did I go from planning a beautiful wedding to now I'm divorced and I'm a single mother?
You got divorced because of this, or?
Huh?
You got divorced because of this, or?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I got married last year, and then 4 months later, so he left me January of this year. I didn't meet Vaughn until June. Okay. So I was doing a lot of things to cover up, like, pain. And so that was one of the reasons why I wanted to start my YouTube channel, because I'm 25. A lot of people don't know this. I've been married twice. That's why I say,
oh, wow.
I think it's yes, I first got married when I was 21, and that was kind of like forced because I come from a religious family. Then I got remarried when I was 24, and now I'm divorced twice. So it's humiliating, and I didn't want people to go through what I have gone through, because I get so tired of hearing about it. So that's why I reached out to Vaughn to help me start my YouTube channel. It was never supposed to have went as far as pranks. That was just something that Vaughn came up with because he knew that was what was going to get the traffic from their channel to mine, and I went with it. I'm not throwing any shade at all, but I don't like big guys at all. And if anybody I could have been attracted to would have been Chris, but
so do you think that's why you kind of were a little bit more trusting in hopes that maybe you could, like, because you like
no. It takes a lot for me to be, like, I'm not really attracted to anybody physically. I look at their personality first. I never had a conversation with Chris. And at that time, I knew him to be a cheater because of Queen. And like I said, when I reached out to Vaughn, I only thought that I was going to be working with Vaughn. I never thought that I was going to be working with Chris, Nair, or any of them. So it wasn't like I'm like, oh, okay. And when he said, do you know who Chris Sales is? I'm like, yeah, I was a fan of Chris Sales because of Queen. So, like I said, because I had already knew of him from watching his channel. Like didn't know him personally or anything like that, but I knew from, watching him on YouTube. And it didn't even dawn on me that he was even connected. Like, I knew that I had seen Vaughn in some of Chris' videos, but it still wasn't connecting. It was just like, okay, I had sent out so many emails to so many other YouTubers trying to collab with them, and nobody responded. And the only one that responded was Vaughn. And that's how I know that this was, like, all a part of God's plan, because of everybody that I've sent an email to, Vaughn was the only one that responded. And he even said himself, he get millions of emails all the time. So when he said Chris Sales, I'm not looking at, okay, Chris is his platform. I'm not looking at that. I'm looking at, okay, I want a bigger audience. So when I travel around the world and I speak to people, I can touch a lot of people. I don't want to just touch 10 people. I want to touch a lot of people. So that's what I was looking at.
Okay. And so okay, because when you first told me that when he said Chris Sales wanted to collab with you, do you think that he manipulated you, knowing that you were a fan of him and that you liked him and everything like that? Do you think that that's what it was? I feel like,
no. Hold on, let's clarify something. I didn't like him. Like, when people say, did you like, no. I was just a fan of him and Chris. I mean, him and Queen. I'm sorry. I was a fan of Chris and Queen. I used to watch their videos all the time, so I was a fan of both of them. Mm-hmm. And when he said, "Did you know Chris?" I said, "Yeah," because I watched his videos. He said that he wanted to collab as well. Those are his exact words. Well, he said he wanted to collab as well. I'm like, okay, cool. Okay. And as time progressed, I was like, okay. I remember asking him, I said, well, did Chris still want to collab? Mind you, I don't know if I said it on this video or if it was like when me and you had talked, but I said that I had to end up leaving to get my son. So when I asked Vaughn about it, he said, well, he didn't want to collab anymore because I had to leave and get my son. So I was already like, okay, I don't want to collab with Chris anyway. If you can't understand that I have a son that I need to go take care of and I need to go see about, and I'm a single mother, then we don't need to collab anyways. Because you have a son, you should understand that. Right. So Vaughn put it like that, and at that point, I feel like Vaughn was lying. So what I did was I emailed Chris and I DM'd him on Instagram, and he never said, like, I never got a response. So then at that time, I felt like both of them had plotted this from the start. That was like their plan. Like, I don't feel like this whole thing was like never just about helping me or anything like that. I just feel like once he asked me what I'd done for a living and I told him I was a police officer, then like their sole goal was to get my car. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't like when he said, what do you do for a living? I'm like, I'm a cop. No, he went into like it split, like he started asking me other questions. Mm-hmm. I remember him saying, like, Vaughn, of course. I remember him saying, oh, that's so cool. And then something was said that made me say that I had police lights. And I feel like as soon as I said that I had police lights in my personal vehicle, y'all, it was not my cop car. Like, that would be even more stupid because you can't do that. It was my personal vehicle that I have lights installed in for off-duty jobs. I feel like once I said that, that was their main goal. It was never about helping me.
Sorry to cut you off. I'm sorry. But that was another thing that somebody asked, and I forgot to ask you. They wanted to know, if it wasn't a police car, why would you have the lights installed in your car? And then you said that it was for your off-duty jobs. If you can kind of elaborate on that to get people to, understand.
Okay, I don't know how the laws are set up in other states, but if any of you are from Houston, Texas, I'm pretty sure like at nighttime, when it's like construction or something on the roads, you will see the red and blue lights. And those lights, they're police lights. Only police officers are allowed to work traffic jobs. Like that's something that we study while we're in the police academy, how to direct traffic and all that good stuff. So I had the police lights installed in my personal vehicle because you cannot, when you work these off-duty jobs, you cannot have a marked car. Mm-hmm. It has to be your personal vehicle with the police lights installed, and you sitting in the middle of traffic with the lights turned on, directing traffic. So that was the reason why I had those lights in my and I still have them. Because like I said, if anybody any day decides to swear me in or whatever, like they'll still be here. But I can take them out. Even the magnet that you guys saw on the top of my car is underneath my trunk right now. Like I just plug it into the little cigarette lighter thing and it turns on.
Okay, and your car does it look like a police car? What kind of car is it?
No, the only thing is I have the illegal tint on my car. And only police officers are allowed to have it in the state of Texas. And in order to get it, you have to present a badge. And it has to, I think they ended up calling my chief and they put him on the phone and he said, yeah, she's a part of this department. And I got it. Because I think in Texas, you're not allowed to have a certain amount of tint according to the law book. And so, like, whenever, like, let's just say if like they were pulled over for speeding and they run my license plate, the police lights is like, one of them is right above my license plate. Mm-hmm. So when they come to my window, they're like, man, why do you have these lights? And I have to give them a rundown. Well, I've been officer for about a year, yada, yada, yada. So that's the reason why I had the lights in here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I was trying to get some of the questions as they were, asking them or whatever. And then another thing, so did you ever, because a lot of them, they want to know what your YouTube channel is. The people who did not catch it in the beginning, if you want to share what your YouTube channel is. And then the other people that you collaborated with, How much total did you give them all together? You gave Vaughn 600. You gave Nair 700. How much did you get, and how much did you get back from this whole situation? Like, you paid for collabs with Vaughn, Nair, and then, if you could elaborate on that.
Okay. I gave everybody in that house money to collab, and there's one person in that house. And when I say that house, I'm talking about M and Vaughn, and I think his name is Matty Ice.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, M and Vaughn, Justin and Jalen, that's the couple. Then there's another couple, Nair and Jalen, and then there's a guy named Daddy Chunk Chunk. I'm assuming that the reason why I had to pay Nair and his girlfriend more money is because they had more subscribers than M and Vaughn. Because I paid M and Vaughn 600, and he said that would be for a video on my channel, a video on his channel, and unlimited collaborations whenever I would come to Houston.
Okay.
And so I'm assuming that would have been like if they were available and I come to Houston. I don't know, because they don't do anything anyways. Just sit at the house all day.
Okay, so I don't want to keep cutting you. I just want to get it straight. So M and Vaughn have their channel. So $600 went for unlimited collabs for M and Vaughn's channel. Then Nair has a channel, so you paid $700 to be featured on that. Was it unlimited collabs on that channel as well?
They never said. As far as the other ones, they never said. They just said it was going to be a set price of $700. And at that time, yes, I was a little stupid. I seen that my subscribers were shooting through the roof with M and Vaughn, and for some reason, people cling more to Nair and his girlfriend. So I'm like, okay, mm-hmm. Okay, $700, cool.
Okay, so you paid them the $700 for their channel. So then, who else did you pay and collab with? And
okay, then I paid Justin and Jalen. I paid them $200, and then the other kid, Zaddy Chunk Chunk, I was talking about, I paid him $350. So, and that totals out to be over $1,800.
Okay, and so did you do videos with everybody? Did anybody fulfill their obligation? Like, what did you gain from it, and what were you hoping to gain?
Okay, at first, before the arrest had took place with anybody, they had put my link in their description. They would pin a comment, hold on, it says poor network connection. Can you still see me?
Yeah, I can still see you.
Okay. Yeah. At first, like, before everything had kicked off, everything was going, I would say, okay. Like, I was still kind of suspicious because, like I said, Nair and his girlfriend, when they would come over to my hotel, they would park their car in valet, and then they would tell the valet guys to charge it to my name. And I didn't even know that they even knew my last name, so they must have been doing some deep studying or something. I don't know. I know, like, I always keep my driver's license, like, right here in my car. I don't think they're nuts, but I'm actually sitting in my car. So I don't know if they did it that way, but whatever it was, like, I didn't even realize that until, like, the next morning I would get the receipt slip underneath my hotel room door, and it would have their vehicle, their license plate. And I'm like, are you kidding me? And then it was a time where we went to AHA, and these people are actually getting paid from YouTube. I had to pay for my food, Nair's food, and Jalen's food.
But why would you do that, though? Why would you? I would have been like, y'all got more money than me. I'm trying to get money like y'all. Why would you pay for their stuff?
Honestly, I can't even answer that. I have a good heart, and as I'm around these people, they don't have as much money as they make it seem. And it's like they could, but it's like when you're that big and you have a platform, you have to keep your image up. So they're busy buying like Gucci and stuff, and like I would see like that they're struggling. It's weird. I can't really explain it, but it's like you would actually have to be around these people. Like the Zaddy Chunk Chunk guy, his mom has to cash out him money for food almost every day. It's like stuff like that, and so I would see that, and like everything was just happening so fast. Like in my mind, I'm like, okay, I'm finally getting somewhere, like my channel, and it was like, I don't know, I wouldn't say it was like an accomplishment, but I was looking at people's channels where they only have like 200 subscribers, and they've been on YouTube for 2 years, and the fact that I was like at 1,000 or something within 2 days, I'm like, that's crazy. So I don't know if it was like that, but I seen a lot of things being around them, and
Okay.
like reality set in that these people don't have as much money, and I wasn't even looking at the fact that I'm taking from my son. Like then, like none of this is registering, and that's how I know that this has to be all part of God's plan, because like it's like unnatural stuff started happening to where I would normally be aware of things. I was like not aware of anything then. I was just focused solely on that goal of entertaining a large audience.
So basically, you were because I'm just trying to recap as you say things. So pretty much you paid because you seen your channel was growing faster. You seen other people who had staying steadily at 200 subscribers and yours was shooting up. So you was just like, okay, well, I'll pay to keep this kind of traffic going on my channel. Is that kind of what you're saying?
I wouldn't say that. Okay, with the IHOP thing, I had told them that I wanted to go to IHOP. I was like, I'm about to go to IHOP. And I was like, do y'all want to go to IHOP? And I wasn't. It's like, you know how sometimes you can talk faster than you think? I should have said, well, I'm about to go to IHOP. Like, have y'all already ate or something? Like, what are y'all going to do? But I was like, do y'all want to go to IHOP? So it's like the question came out as if I was going to pay. Okay. And how I noticed that, because it still wasn't registered, how I noticed that I was going to end up paying for the IHOP was we get to IHOP, we sit down, we order our food, and like everybody's plates is getting empty. Nair, he gets up and goes to the bathroom, and then that's when a waiter come around for the tab, and it's on one ticket. And it's like, it's basically staring at me and his girlfriend. So
and I would have been like, split the check. I would have been like, okay, split the check. Split this up.
Yeah, so then I went ahead and paid for it, and the light bulb really went off was when we got up. Because I was like, no, wait a minute. Let me take it back. I paid, and I'm like, Nair still haven't came and sat back down at the table. So I'm like, I looked at Jalen, his girlfriend, and I'm like, do we need to go check on him? And she's like, no, there he go right there. So we get up, and I hear Nair talking to her. Well, he was like, did she pay for it? And she was like, yeah. And I knew then. So all of this, like, it's like I saw these people color. You know how like you can see something and you're just in denial. I already knew how Nair and his girlfriend operated just from that, you know. And then from the whole ballet incident, and then it was like I went to the bank to give them $600 at first, but then the bank won't let me get the extra $100. At that time, they had spent the night over my hotel room that I had paid for. They were swimming on the 8th floor at my hotel that I had paid for. Then it's like all this other stuff was happening. I didn't pay for your IHOP. I haven't said nothing to you yet about parking your car in valet and charging it on my tab, and then yet you still ask for the $100 that I still owe you.
Because they was juicing you, sound like.
Yeah, so I had already had, in my mind, I'm like, they are users. And so, and honestly, I wasn't convinced solely, like, on my ride back home that I wasn't going to work with them anymore, but I was already feeling that way. Right. And then, you know, with, you know, not working, being able to work with Christelle, I was like, okay, it's a lot of wine. Because at the end of the day, let's be honest, I was almost at 2K subscribers before all of this happened. Then, after that happened, I lost a lot of subscribers. So I started getting discouraged. Mind you, I don't have any money coming in. I have money saved up, you know, from working because I'm a good saver. And that's what I've been living off of. Me and my son is the savings because I don't have any money coming in. And when all of this took place, they took my link out of their description, sabotaging me. Like, people would come in and say, what's her channel name? They would even comment on there. I even have screenshots with my subscribers sending me to my DMs on Instagram where they would say stuff like, we don't talk to her no more. But I paid you money. So at this point, it's not even personal, it's business. I paid you money. And that's to keep the pinned comment, the link in the description, video on my channel, your channel. And it's like, you're going against what you said, but you still have my money. A part of me wanted to get a lawyer. I'm not even going to lie. But
have you thought about not only suing them for not doing what they said by keeping your link in the description, but you did not, you, according to you, you said that you didn't give them permission to use your badge, and you didn't give them permission to pull over civilians. They were supposed to be just pulling over each other. So have you thought about suing them for defamation of character if they,
Oh yeah,
if he,
definitely. But and I'm just gonna, because I'm real. Like that's all I know how to do is be real.
mm-hmm.
Financially, I cannot afford another lawyer. I have 2 lawyers right now. I have a lawyer to, like, a criminal defense lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
That's like if I ever was to get arrested. And I had the lawyer to change around my F5. So I've spent a lot of money. I'm gonna say I lost a lot of money. I've paid these people. I've lost my job. That's money. I'm paying 2 lawyers right now. So I cannot afford a 3rd lawyer as much as I want to. And a part of me is just like, just give it to God. You know, I feel like God can do way more damage than I can. Mm-hmm. And I'm not even gonna lie, I'm struggling right now, y'all. Like, at first, like, I had so much money saved up. So it's like, and even just building up to being able to become a police officer, it's like everything that I have built. Not long, I've gone through the little divorce. I was only married for 4 months when, you know, he decided to leave. And so I lost a lot with that. So I was just getting back to Erica, you know, mm-hmm. and I let some strangers I had, like, didn't even know who they were, come in and just start me back over from day one. And so, like I said, but I can say that it hasn't really just, like, my faith in God is strong. I know that God just has something better for me. And, like, the big picture is all of this happened in a matter of meeting up with them for 3 weeks. So mm-hmm. I'm so thankful that it happened so soon, because who's to say 3 years from now, I still would have been building with these people, and I probably would have got huge, I'm hypothetically speaking, and I probably would have been helping these people the same way that, you know, I would have been doing.
Yeah, but you lost your job, though. Like, I would have rather worked my job for 3 years and then lost it versus losing my career so prematurely, to where maybe you could have worked out, you know, a rapport with your captain or your staff, or whatever the word I'm trying to look for. You know, you could have probably worked up a rapport with them to where, you know, they wouldn't have just took their word for it, and you probably, you know what I'm saying? Like, I would have wanted to work my career more.
That would never happen. That would never happen. And I'm just going to be honest. It's hard being a young Black woman and a police officer. It's so hard. I was already having issues at that department with discrimination. And it's like, they didn't want me there. And it was so hard. It was so hard to the point where I didn't even want to go to work sometimes. I would only do it because my son loves to see me in my uniform. Like, my son, he goes to school and he tells everybody how his mommy is a police officer. And that was my only motivation. So I knew that it was pretty much just going to be like an unfair situation. They didn't want me there anyways, but to make the department look good, you have to have at least one African-American there. Mm. And everybody is not racist. I don't want y'all coming for me in her comments and none of that. And like I said, I have a mixture of different, you know, races in my family. And I love all races. But I'm just being honest. Like, you know, it has been so hard for me. Like, even in the police academy, I took stuff. Like I said, if like, I don't know if y'all heard me earlier, but one of the main reasons why it took me 3 times was because the first time I was kicked out for my color. And he's no longer a police academy director anymore because of that. So I've always, like, ever since I decided I wanted to be a cop, it's always been an issue with my race. And so I already knew, and definitely with that department, because it's just one of those little small towns, but I already knew that whether I was innocent or not, they were still going to let me go. Mm-hmm. So,
are you open to letting the people call in and ask questions, or?
Oh yeah, I'm open to that.
Okay, so I'm gonna open up the phone lines and allow you guys who are viewing this to ask your own questions, because I'm all out of questions, and I want her to be clear, and I want you guys to be clear on what's going on in this situation. If you do call, do not call and bash her. I will hang you up. Call and have a sensible a question or whatever. So let me open up the phone lines, but like I said, be respectable when you guys call in. Do not call in and bash her. If you have a serious question, ask a serious question. If there's something that I missed, then feel free to ask, but do not call and be mean or bashing or anything like that. And I'm about to open up the phone lines right now. Just give me a second. Let me open up the call. Hold on. So I'm opening up the calls. The call-in number. Hold up. Let me start. Okay, so the call-in number, you call in from your cell phone. It's not a video call. You're just going to call straight in. The number is 605-46. Oh, somebody has already called in. Okay. Hello?
Hello.
Hi. Got to turn off your the live in the background.
Okay.
Okay, but before you speak, the call-in number is 605-468-8756. The access code is 284538. And now you're live to ask her questions. Go ahead.
Okay. Hi, Nick. Just wanted to say you're doing a great job tonight, and I enjoyed the show. And I just wanted to ask her, so now that, everything has hit the fan and she's out of her career, is she planning on still pursuing YouTube full time? What is her YouTube channel? What does she actually do on that channel? Like, what is it that she plans to get out of this whole interview?
Can you hear her?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so I'm just gonna start with what she said at the end. What do I plan on getting out of this entire interview?
Yeah.
I don't want you guys
because,
to feel
I literally forgot about that whole incident with them, and so you coming with the interview, it kind of like brought it back to the forefront again. That wow, that you probably would have lost your career over that incident. But so now that you're bringing it back up to the forefront again, and you don't have this career, what do you really plan on doing with this interview? Because this can actually help you, in the long end of things. Like, so what do you have now that you would want us to look at on your channel? What do you do?
To be honest, I've been so lost because my initial goal was to motivate you guys, like to be like I have so many stories from childhood to now. Like I said, for example, I'm 25. I've been married twice. Like, that's so embarrassing to be so young, but I have so much wisdom. I look young, but I have a lot of wisdom. So I've just been putting just like BS, to be honest, on my channel because I don't really know what's gonna catch you guys' attention now, because I had one thing planned, and then when I met up with Bun, it switched over to pranks. And it's like now everybody want to see pranks. And I can't give y'all that because the pranks are fake. I have a 5-year-old. I have no friends. It's just me and my son. So I don't know if I should just start like what I had planned and just start motivating you guys, start doing a whole bunch of story times. I don't know, but I will say this. I did not want to say it because I don't like to they said the devil is always listening, but I wrote a book and it's gonna get released January 29th on my 26th birthday, and it's even gonna talk about this whole situation. It's not gonna go into explicit details. It's probably like maybe 3 or 4 sentences, like verbatim, but everything that I have been trying to tell people for years, like you would just have to just read the book. And I appreciate you for calling in though. And yeah, I would just ask anybody to just continue to just pray for me and my son. Like I said, I don't get a paycheck from YouTube, but I have still been posting, like, and I'm just gonna be honest, just BS. And it's to show people that, like, everybody use YouTube just for money. Hence, that's the reason why we are all in the situation that we're in now with this whole impersonate thing, because they were more focused on the views. They wasn't focusing on the logic that somebody could have really got killed. And it's a girl just got shot, Saturday in a club. So that's things that like hurt me. Like I have tears in my eyes right now because I don't think that they realize how serious it was. It wasn't just about the money. It was never about the views. It's like, look, like y'all could have really got hurt. Like I'm mad at y'all, but I would have never wanted that to happen to y'all. I've had that call where my heart dropped. I've had that call where somebody is walking down the street with a gun. So, and even if they're watching this, like I said, I do not wish them any bad. I just wish that they would just learn from it. Just because you have a big platform, don't abuse it, you know? But as for me and my YouTube channel, only God knows, like I said, right now, I'm in a tough spot. And I get frustrated every day because I'm human, but I'm in a tough spot because I feel like I'm in a box. I feel like I'm trapped. It's like the life that I had in 2017, I walked into 2018 with it, and it's not there anymore, you know? So it's like I'm starting over from scratch.
Okay. What is the name of your YouTube channel?
Right now it's Loved by Erica. It's LUVD by Erica with a C.
Okay, well, I wish the best for you. We will definitely keep you in our prayers, and you know you'll get through this.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
And thank you so much, caller, for calling in. Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay.
Hello. Hey,
okay, 313, you're live. Hey.
I just called, wanted to have a statement, and so I noticed that I wanted to just say that I'm sure that you can come back from this, and please turn this lesson into a blessing, girl. You have to do what you have to do for your son, and please don't do pranks because we are too old, we're too grown to prank. So
definitely.
If you do a channel, I definitely will come and check it out because we all have faults. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. So I'm praying for you and your son, and hopefully you turn this lesson into a blessing. And thank you so much, Nick.
Oh, thank you too for calling.
On your platform, you are doing a great job, and take notes of me. It's pretty awesome. All right, bye.
Okay, bye-bye. Thank you for calling. If anybody else wants to call in, the call-in number is 605-468-8756. I don't want to hold her all night, so anybody who wants to call in, if there's another person on the call, I'm going to just put you in a queue, and then after they're done, I'll let you talk. So anybody who wants to call in, feel free to dial the number. If nobody calls in, then I'm going to end the interview. But I wanted you guys to be able to ask questions. Some of you who didn't have clarification and you wanted to know further, you can call in. The number is 605-468-8756. The access code is 284538. So somebody, anybody who wants to call in, call in. If not, if there's nobody that wants to call in, then I'll wrap up the interview, and that'll be that. Is there anything else you wanted to say about it? What did you, in the meantime, is there anything that you learned from this? Like, did you learn, what did you learn from all of this?
I just learned that people view right and wrong differently because and that was something that we didn't touch bases on. The Armand, when he reached out to me, I thought that he was actually being genuine. Like he was literally telling me not to, worry about the comments and, the all TR shade room. And I personally still feel this way that he was only doing that to go and transfer information to Chris now because literally I have not spoken to him since. And the last time I spoken to him, I told him that I lost my job and I got fired. And like before I said that, he was responding, "Oh hey," but then as soon as I said I lost my job, it's like no response back. And I get on YouTube and he's in a video with Chris. He's around Vaughn. So I just felt played, Mm-hmm. But I don't mean to get emotional, but I've just learned to just pray for people.
Mm-hmm. Oh, girl, don't cry. It's going to be okay. You are definitely going to rise above this. I don't want you to be crying now. You're gonna rise above this for sure.
But you know, I want people to see this. And if I had to go through this to teach somebody else, and this is the thing, that video, even after they were arrested, that video was still posted. And I'm like, kids are seeing this. I go, not only was I a police officer, not only was I trying to protect the community, I would go to schools.
It's okay.
And I sit there and I talk to these kids. I talk to these kids about gun violence. One of the first group of kids that I was able to talk to was pre-K students. Because last year my son, he was in pre-K 4. And my teacher, it was law enforcement appreciation. And my teacher asked me, could I come speak? And just the positivity I got from just 4-year-olds, like, it amazed me. I started to go around high school kids and talk to them. So I was not just doing this for myself and for my son. I was doing this for everybody. I was considered a role model. And at one point, like, the YouTubers, if y'all would go back and watch that little mukbang that I done with the Daddy Chunk Chunk dude, like, people were actually saying, wow, she's so down to earth. She is a great cop. But then when that happened, it was like it turned for the worse. But my thing is, I want people to look up to me. I want to be somebody's role model. So I'm sitting here screaming in the inside of myself. It's like, they still have this video posted. Kids are going to watch this. Somebody might try to be stupid enough to do this. That's somebody's child. That's somebody's brother. Like, and I don't think people understand how serious law enforcement is. Like, it's so dangerous to even just put on it. And I don't think people hate just us as an individual. They hate the uniform. And I don't know about y'all, but I got tired of turning on the news and seeing people getting shot and killed by police officers, people that's supposed to be there to protect you. So then I decided to step up to pursue something non-traditional. I am the first, and I was the first Black African-American female officer in my first police job and my last police job. I am the first police officer in my family on both sides. Like,
that's a big accomplishment.
It's just so, it's just not a tradition for, and like I said, I love all races, but it was a big accomplishment for me. And I may not ever be able to put, my uniform back on. And I have to accept that. My son still goes to school and tell people his mommy is a cop, and I have nothing to show for it. Yeah. So, like I said, it was never about just me as a whole. It was never about, like, just doing things for clout. Like, I seen a couple comments where people like, oh, she's looking for clout. I'm not that type of person. But I wouldn't expect you guys to know that because y'all don't even know who I am. Like, what's 3 weeks? They don't even know who I am. Right. Like, if, let's just say we would have grew up together, that probably would have never happened. They probably would have never tried to use, or maybe they would have. I don't know. Only God knows. But I just hope that everybody have learned from my lesson because, like, it has been hard. Like, and I can go into, like, explicit details, but I'm not going to do that because I want y'all to see me now, and then I want y'all to see me a year from now because I promise you I will not be on live crying at all. Like, I want to be.
You gotta wipe your tears because you're gonna rise above this. You strong. Definitely. You got a baby that's gonna keep you strong. You have been. I know that there's gonna be so many people who look at this video and they're going to realize that if they get put in a position, because basically what happened is you got used, you got played, and you got used, and so if somebody approaches somebody else, they're gonna probably think like and maybe look at what happened with you and realize like they don't like and realize the signs of being played. You get what I'm saying?
Another thing I would say is don't be so quick to try to get famous because there's a lot of stuff that you guys don't know that go on behind the scenes. Like when that camera comes on and when it turns off, it's completely different. And I remember reading all those hate comments and I'm like, wow, so if, let's just say I would have blew up, let's just say I would have been like at my mark or whatever the mark was on YouTube, like I was in for a rude awakening. I was not mentally prepared. Like I was used to the hate comments for being a cop, but to have that many people, and it wasn't just on the All TR Shade. It was on the BET, the D Shade or whatever it was called. It was like everywhere. Then people was doing videos about it, and then one person said I deserved the electric chair for being so stupid. Now that was pretty funny to me, but I'm like, dang, that's harsh. Like people wasn't even looking at the big picture. Like all they took was, I guess, their word for what happened there, because I'm just a little old country girl that, you know, don't even know nothing about these city people. It's like I didn't even really just have a voice. It was like I was just invisible, and people said a lot of hurtful stuff, and that part I did not see coming. Like, it ain't like high school. You got like probably 5 or 6 people that don't like you. It was like thousands of people that was saying stuff about me, and it was not one. Like, I want to say, I can't say it was not one, because it was probably a handful of people was like, no, some don't sound right. Like, I don't think she would be that stupid. But people were just, and even now, if I upload a video, they will always say stuff about Chris, and I have nothing to show for that, because like I said, I don't even know who he is, to be honest. He was just in my car. Right. But I don't know. I know like a year from now, this will probably be something that I can just laugh at. Hopefully I will be doing what I really want to do, and that's traveling around and, you know, motivating people, becoming a life coach. You know, like I feel like if I didn't go through this, I wouldn't be able to help you guys. You know, like, please watch your circle. Like, just because somebody is popular or whatever, like, and I spoke about this on my channel before, that does not mean that they mean you any good at all. Like, people always have, you know, a motive that you may not ever know nothing about. And people pretend so well, because these people were so welcoming. Like, I was in their house playing with their dog. Like, they were welcoming to my son. Even now, my son still talks about that dog that Em and Vaughn have. Like, because they were just so welcoming. And then when this happened, it's like every man for themselves. And so it's like, it's going to be a handful of people that you're going to find in this world that's actually genuine. And everybody else is probably going to be something that you're doing that's benefiting them. Right.
I hear you. Okay, so I'm going to open up, well, it's a couple of people on the queue, so I'm going to let them, you know, ask your questions real quick. You guys that are online, just keep it brief. And then, you know, you can respond to them, and then, you know, we'll go to, like, you know, wrapping it up or whatever, but I'm going to let them ask the question. So 219, you are live. Hello? You got to cut off your, the live feed in the background. Hello? 219? Okay, so I have to mute them. Okay, 314 is the next person up. If you have my live playing in the background, cut it off. All right. 314?
Hi.
Hi, okay.
I didn't have a question or anything, but I just wanted to let her know to keep her head up, and that she still can use YouTube as, you know, her motivation, you know, to motivate other people or anything like that. And just keep your head up. And there are going to be haters. You know, there are going to be people that are still going to be talking about this, but just keep believing in God. You know, God is going to be your go-to person to go to. You know what I mean? You may feel like you have nobody else, but God is there for you. And I just wanted to let her know that.
Okay, thank you, caller. Okay, so 843, you're live. Hello?
Yes. Hello?
Hi.
I just want to tell her, keep her head up. God is with her.
Your phone is kind of breaking out.
And he won't judge her for anything. Can you hear me now?
Your phone is kind of breaking up. Hello?
All right. Hello? Can you hear me now?
Okay, say it again. What you say?
I said I just want to tell her, keep her head up, and God will not judge her for anything that she did in the past. The past in the past.
Okay.
That's all I want to say.
Okay, thank you, caller, for calling in.
You're welcome.
Okay. 337, you are live. Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay. You're live. You have the floor.
Hey, how you doing? I just wanted to call and say that basically pretty much what everybody else is saying, that to just keep your head up and to not be embarrassed by anything in your past, even though you've been through 2 marriages. I'm actually in my 2nd marriage. I'm only 28 years old and I have 6 kids. And to try not to focus so much on being motivation for anybody else but your son, and to just put your stories out there, and that's going to motivate people in themselves. Don't focus on motivating them. Just focus on telling your stories and keep your motivation in your son, basically. Because that's all that really matters at the end of the day. And just remember that things that you ask from God don't always, come in the form that you want it. Because you might ask for money, but He might lead you to a job. You know what I'm saying? It's just keep your head up and stay focused on the right things, not on the negative.
Right. That's very true. Thank you, caller, for calling in and giving her some wise words. She definitely can use some good encouragement. And so I appreciate you giving her some kind words.
I just seen when she broke down, and I'm that type of person. I try to stay strong. You always worrying about what other people think of you, but you can't always worry about what people think of you. And sometimes you can't always be strong. Sometimes you hold it in just makes it worse. Like I could see you were trying to hold it in throughout the whole call, and then you just broke down. And it's okay to cry. I mean, it's okay to not be perfect. I mean, I have 6 kids from the ages of 13 to 1 year old. It's not easy. It's really not. So I just want to tell her to keep her head up and to just focus on her son and just tell her story. Don't focus on being motivation for someone else. Because right now she just needs to motivate herself.
Right. That is very true. Thank you, caller, for calling in.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, 219, you are live.
Yes, I just want to say she's still young, and she's still got a bright future ahead of her. She's only 25 years old. And I don't think YouTube is for her. You got to have thick skin. She's breaking down crying. Maybe she should try something else, like if she want to be a motivational speaker, going to high school and talking to junior high children. Maybe she could do something like that, just, tell her story like that. But maybe YouTube ain't the best place for her because you got to be pretty sharp and quick on your feet to be on YouTube. And these people have definitely took advantage of her. And so I think that she should maybe consider, if she want to really be a motivational speaker or think that she has wisdom, maybe she should go to schools and talk to young kids and, stuff like that instead of doing YouTube. Because I just don't think that she's cut out for that.
May I comment on that real quick?
Yeah, go ahead. She's saying
okay, so I want to specify something. I'm not crying over the fact of what these people were saying about me. I heard you say that maybe YouTube is not for me because I need to have tough skin. Something that I'm known for, in my family everywhere, even my jobs, I normally do not break down like this. This is a years of build up. And honestly, my tears, YouTube were just the icing on the cake of me losing my job and stuff. These are tears of what am I going to do because I have a son to take care of. It has nothing to do with the hate comments, none of that. I'm used to that. I dealt with that in high school. That's why I don't have friends. So I just wanted to clarify that. It's let's say you've been going through so much for 5 years and the 6th year come and it's you're at a breaking point. You're going to explode. You can only be strong for so long. I would never shed tears over what a bunch of people in the comment section have to say about me because they don't know me. This is just you get tired. Strong people get tired. You cannot walk around like a robot 24/7 because, and one, I'm a woman, so, and because you're a woman as well, we're very emotional, and it's okay to cry, and that's something else that I'm putting in my book. I don't want people to feel like you have to walk around a certain way all the time. That's a part of the healing process. When you've been hurt, over and over and over, it's gonna stay inside of you, and the only way to get that pain outside of you is through tears. That's the only other way to get it out. So I just wanted to clarify that, because and a lot of you're not the only one that said that maybe YouTube isn't for me, and only God knows if YouTube is for me, because I've been telling myself I was gonna delete it, and I've never deleted it. So if God Himself comes to me and say, Erica, delete your YouTube channel, then I will. But until then, I'm not gonna let this hold me back. And if it's for me to, continue on with my YouTube channel, then that's what I'm gonna do.
Okay.
Okay, Erica, I applaud you for that. I'm not saying that YouTube isn't for you because you cry, because we all cry. But just like you say, when those cameras are rolling, and right now the camera is rolling, so it's okay that you cry, but you shouldn't cry in front of the camera. I've cried. I've been tired of many a day too. My son is 28 years old, so he's a black man out here in the street. That's not the problem I have. The problem is the naiveness that you have, and also, you've been in 2 marriages and you're 25.
Can we go to another call? I just feel like at this point, I really don't have time for any negativity. And that's what's wrong with the world today.
You are in my presence. I'm not being negative at all. I'm definitely not being negative. That's why I called in, because I want to tell you to focus on everything, because I've seen you on my YouTube feed 3 times today on different platforms. So I'm not being negative. I'm just telling you, take a break from YouTube and focus on motivating maybe children instead of adults.
Okay,
because they need it.
I want to also specify something else. If you go look, like I'm always like, I post a video, then 3 weeks later I post another one. Like YouTube is not my main priority, because once again, I'm not getting paid from it, so I'm not gonna upload videos all day, every day. So I would never make YouTube my main priority, because my main priority is my son. I just wanted, like, when you see a person like me that has been broken, like literally from the year that I've had, I just want you to see organically, like, because people that have the big YouTube platform, y'all don't see this at all, but they go through exactly what I'm going through, but they don't do that because they're trying to uphold an image. I want y'all to see how it is organically. That's the reason why I went ahead and let the tears flow. That's the reason why I went ahead and told you guys about my 2 marriages and me losing my job and stuff like that, because I want you guys to see it. They go through this. You'll just never know.
Right. And thank you, caller. I'm going to go to the next call, though, okay?
All right, Nick.
Thank
keep
you
doing
for
your thing. Y'all have a good night. Happy holidays.
Okay, you too. Thank you so much for calling in. Okay, 816, you are live.
Hey, Nick, it's Ananka.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you? Hey, Erica.
Hey, how are you?
Hey, and I'm just, first of all, I don't want you to cry, but I am an officer, and I wanted to talk to you as another officer. Now, I don't talk about my career on social media because, I try to keep it off social media, and I think that's something that you're learning yourself. Now, first of all, I see you're getting upset because, you have a family, and you have a career that's been damaged, and you kind of got into this with good intentions, and everything seems to have blown up. You know what I mean? And something that I've learned is that it just seems like you're very on the defense. You know what I mean? And I don't know if maybe it seems like to me you're focused on the wrong things at this time, because as a black woman in this field, our main focus is to protect and serve, period. And it seems like to me that your intentions were to cooperate in this fun activity, right? But
no,
it went awry. You see what I'm saying? And I don't think you did it intentionally, but it happened. And I think that maybe you're not taking full responsibility for it, and that's what people are seeing. I'm not saying you don't. I'm saying that it's being portrayed that you're not taking.
No, I've said where I was wrong several times, and I don't know how many times you guys want me to say. Yes, I was very wrong for being naive and not thinking that this could potentially happen. I've said that several times, even in my own videos. And I don't know if what more you got. It's just like, okay, even if I was to let you borrow my car and I have $1 million in it, and you're like, can I go to the store? I only gave you access to my car, not my money. So if you bring my car back and I don't have my money, then that's an issue on you. So then I'm going to do whatever I can to get my money back. It's like one of those incidents. It was not like I was in the vehicle to say, you guys need to get out of my car because y'all can't do this or something in that nature. And are you an officer in Texas?
I'm a sergeant in Kansas City, Missouri, and this is what I'm going to say to you. The thing
I
is,
can't hear you.
Give somebody your car. Can you hear me now?
No, I can't. Where did you say you were from?
Kansas City, Missouri.
Okay, so the laws are different in Texas. And like I said,
Correct.
Before I even allowed them to do that, I looked in the law book. And I also ran it by another sergeant. So, like I said, that was perfectly what I told them. Well, Vaughn, I'm going to stop saying them. What I told Vaughn he could do was perfectly legal. And now where it became my fault was...
And I can comment on what you just said. You said you gave... hey, Oreo, you gave someone a car that was yours and you were insured with, and you let them go and do a skit, right? But that was your vehicle and you were in possession of it. So if someone gives, and you know this because I don't know what the laws are where you are, but if someone has your vehicle that you're insured of, and they go do something, you're responsible because it's your property, and you do have ownership of that situation. And you know in the law,
go ahead.
Do that.
But also, because it is my vehicle, I'm able to, my mom is not insured on my insurance. And if she wants to use my car to go to the store, I'm going to let her. So I have the right to say yes or no. I mean, it's my vehicle. Yes, I understand the part about being insured. And that's where I looked at it as, well, I had never seen them being in nothing because I never just researched them like that. And yes, I should have. So, again, I'm at fault for that as well. So you heard me say about 4 or 5 times on this call that I was wrong for something. I'm not taking that.
Right,
like, I've accepted my
wrong.
I've accepted it. I've never said,
very defensive.
Talking, or is that her live turned up too loud? Because I can't.
She said that you went from calm to defensive.
Definitely, because I now feel like that. Okay, the purpose of me accepting this interview was not so that people can. I feel like you're attacking me by saying, "But you knew." Yes, I'm 25 years old. Yes, I graduated high school, so I know what I should have done now. So it's not like, I just feel like people shouldn't be so quick to, well, you knew this. And as this says, like, don't be so quick to do that, because even you have made mistakes. Like, law enforcement, you cannot tell me that you've never made a mistake. And this is police officer. Well, used to be police officer to police officer. If you really are a police officer, I don't know. But you know that even rookies, they're going to make mistakes. Nobody, like, as long as you're a law enforcement officer, you're gonna make mistakes. Like, there is no handbook for it.
I don't want to cut. I'm gonna interject. So she said she wanted to call in and tell you something positive. So I'm gonna just let her say the positive words that she wanted to say, and then we'll go from there.
Right. Okay. And Erica, this is all I wanted to say to you. I'm sorry, Nick. Did I cut you off?
No, go ahead. Just tell her the positive things that you want her to get out of this. So that
And it bothers me when you started crying, so that's what I was trying to say in the first place. And you graduated from high school. I have a bachelor's degree. We're both educated.
I do too.
I want to say is that's great. That's one thing. One thing I want to say is just keep your head up. You know, you can whatever you set out to do in this life, you will accomplish if you put your mind to it. So instead of focusing on negative things, what I was going to say to you is focus on the positive things. And you said you wanted to do, you're making a book, you're writing a book, beautiful. You're doing your channel, beautiful. You're going to get positive vibes if you put them out there. And what I saw from you in the beginning is you had a very positive personality, and I think that was beautiful. I think that was very attractive. So if you keep on with that, I think you're going to do very good. You know what I'm saying? Everything is a learning experience. And I think you do well. So that's all I wanted to say to you. And I just wanted you to not be upset and just to smile. You have a beautiful smile, so just project that.
And thank you. I appreciate it. And if I came off defensive, I will apologize for that. It's just ever since this whole ordeal has taken place, I have always heard, well, you knew better. You knew this. And it's like as if law enforcement officers are not able or not supposed to make mistakes. We're still human.
Right.
You know, I'm still human
We are.
despite the, and even you know that. You're going to make mistakes. But you know, civilians, they want us to be
Right.
perfect. But I'm just a living
That's true.
witness. Even police officers mess up.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank
we do.
you. Thank
But
you.
you know what? We learn too. We're all learning. And so I hope you guys have a great night. Thank you, Nick. I watch you every day. So thank you very much.
And thank you so much for calling in.
Thank you.
All
Bye-bye.
right, bye-bye. Okay, 215.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay.
So I'm another smaller YouTuber, and I had been attacked last year. A lot of people don't like to hear what I have to say, but it started out with me doing videos, and I had a problem with a big YouTuber, and I'm gonna be transparent because you're being very transparent. I want to thank you for that. To let you know you're blessed, you're going to be prayed for, and you will do better. You will get better. Maybe it wasn't meant for you to be a police officer, Mama. On some little stuff, you might find out later that somebody that was in your place, something might have happened where you wasn't supposed to be there. But I'm only telling you this because my brother was a police officer. He served about 15 years, then he retired. First black police officer to work for the county that we lived in the state that we're in. From Philadelphia. He then moved on. After he retired, he moved on, and he was working for the DA as, for the district attorney for a while. He decided to let my nephew go to a different school, so y'all know how it is if you don't report same address, same place you live. He had to retire from his job for that reason. He was a great cop. He never did anything wrong with anybody. But just that one mistake that he made changed his life. He did not get upset about it, and that's why I'm telling you this, because maybe it wasn't meant for him to be a police officer. He now owns his own security company. They are 3 to 4 years in. He drives major, big-time people around. You have a skill under your belt, honey. You can start your own business from here. You can start with your YouTube channel, get it up there, talk to the children. You're doing a great thing. I like a lot of the positive things that you were saying as far as going out here to the young kids, going out to the schools. Talk to these kids. That's what I try to do on my channel. I got misinterpreted, misconstrued somewhere because I say the wrong things at the wrong time, but I come from the heart. My whole point out here on YouTube is, like you said, people are thinking you're here for clout, you're here for this, you're here for that. You're here for a purpose. You're here for a meaning and for a reason. You're here to put a message out there for these young children. That's why you want to keep on going. So you keep on going on your YouTube channel. Don't let no 2,000-3,000 people may come in and hate on you. They're going to hate on every video that you did. They're going to thumbs down you. But guess what? It's all good for you in the long run. So take the hate, take the crying. You can cry on camera all you want, baby girl. Cry 10 times a day if you have to. I have. You have to. You have to let it out. But you're being transparent. You're being real. You're being honest, and you're being upfront. And that's the way you start your career and your business on YouTube. Okay. So
Right.
I did subscribe to
Thank you.
if I have to.
Right. And thank you, caller. I'm gonna take one more caller that's on the line, and then I'm gonna wrap up the calls. But thank you so much for calling in and giving her some positive words.
No problem.
Okay. 863, you're live. This is the last call that I'm gonna take. Hello? 863?
Oh, hello, this is Trent.
Oh, hey, Trent.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Hey, I just wanted to call to speak to Erica, only because I got into the video kind of late, and I just wanted some clarity about kind of what the, I guess mainly what the objective for the interview was. So if I can get like a quick summary for that.
He wanted to know what the purpose of the interview was.
Oh, okay. Well, hey, how are you? The purpose for the interview is to just basically get my truth out there. Like, so many people were calling me a dumb cop for allowing them to use my vehicle. So many people, even people felt like I set them up, and this entire time I've just been keeping calm about it, and I have been like really ticked off because of these people. They use their platform to get you guys to believe one thing when the truth has not even been out there yet. So, and the truth was, I told Vaughn specifically that he can do one thing, and he did total opposite once he got around Chris Sales, and the whole thing blew up, and they all pointed fingers at me to get themselves out of trouble. So, another purpose for this video is because I want you guys to see that you can literally lose everything that you worked hard for, and I have, because of someone else. Like I said earlier, it's one thing to lose it when you want to lose it, or if it's something that you have done, but to lose it and get it snatched from you over somebody else's behavior, that hurts, especially when you put blood, sweat, and tears into something that you enjoyed. So
okay, I hate to cut you off, but before I forget, I want clarity. When you say because of someone else's behavior, are you saying are you specifically referring to when you say they were pointing fingers at you?
I'm referring to when they were in my car driving in the middle of Houston traffic, pulling over real people. And I say that because Vaughn told me that they were going to use my vehicle to do a stage prank down the street from their house in Richmond, Texas. I had no idea about Houston. I had no idea about the random people that was going to be in the video. I had no idea about any of it. I solely only knew about them doing a stage prank with each other down the street from his house. And that was perfectly legal because, like I said before, I looked it up in the law book. I ran it by other officers. So that's what I'm talking about when I say somebody else's behavior, because I don't know if it's still out there. You may be able to find it on somebody else's channel, but I haven't seen it on either one of their channels. I think it was like last month I tried to go back and, look for it, but I couldn't find it. But if you go back, you'll see that I was nowhere in the vehicle. And that, like, it's just basically like they did it behind my back, because it wasn't like I was there to intervene or anything like that. And if I'm not mistaken, I even offered Bun. I said, well, I'll just, like, let me know when y'all get back. Like, I'll ride with y'all. And he never came back to the house to get me, of course, because I was in the middle of another video. So that's what I meant by that.
In the book you said that's going to be released in January, is it basically going to highlight the situation where you say they went behind your back?
No, it's not going to be verbatim about them going behind my back. It's pretty much just, okay, a lot of things that I have went through in my life was because I didn't have somebody to say, Erica, you're headed for danger. I didn't have somebody to, give me a roadmap to life. And a lot of people don't. And I'm not saying that my book is going to be a roadmap to everybody's life, but I have just not, and it's not just about that. It's not let me specify that book is about like different little aspects that I have went through in my life. I don't want you guys to purchase my book because you're going to get like exclusive details about this situation, because you're not. That's why I'm on here now, for you guys to get the exclusive details. It's just going to be like how the world will proceed. It even speaks about that in the Bible, like how people will be one way and, act another way. Like, it's probably like, and I said this earlier, it's going to be about 2 or 3 sentences of it. And then I want you guys to see the aftermath of me losing everything. Like, I want people to see this. That's why I went ahead and released my tears. Because a year from now, y'all not going to be looking at this saying, like, right now, I'm not going to lie, I'm a lost soul. And so I've just been praying and just trying to find my purpose. So a year from now, I'm going to be a lot stronger, a lot more wiser. And so it's just like little different clips of my life. 25 years of living that you got.
That's true. Well, I'm sorry, I have to cut you off because I just want to make sure that I don't get derailed. I got a little confused because I think at the beginning you said it's going to be like 2 sentences about the situation, and then I don't know. It almost sounds like now you're saying that it is regarding the situation and how it affected your growth. So is the book like a?
I'm confused. I'm confused about your question. I'm so confused about, like, could you repeat the question? Because I can barely hear you.
Okay, I'm sorry. So the book is going to be centered around the situation and how it's. No. That's what I was specifying to you. This book, I would never write a book
solely on this situation. That would be retarded. Like, no. This book is different aspects of what I have gone through in 25 years of living. And this was just one of those life-changing events. I even specified earlier while we were recording that there's going to be 2 or 3 sentences maybe about it. And then it's going to leap into something else. So I want you guys to see, like, yes, this, I felt like at first that this was going to break me. But I want y'all to see the other side of me losing everything till, let's say, a year from now. So I don't want you guys to go and purchase my book when it comes out thinking that it's going to be about Chris Sails and this whole impersonator. It's not going to be about that. Yes, it's going to be something mentioned in there about it, but the entire book is not about that at all. Y'all are going to see different things about Erica. We'll read different things about Erica.
Okay. Alrighty. Well, thank you, Trent, for... Oh, you had another question?
I appreciate that. No, I appreciate her for being so thorough with me about everything, and I appreciate you for taking my call.
Okay.
And thank you again.
Okay. Thank you, Trent, for calling in. Thank you for the callers who called in. That was the last call that I was going to take in on it. And so I'm going to let Erica now say what her final things that she say before we wrap this up. And, you know, she's going to shout out her channel one more time so that when she does put up her book, you guys can find it, or wherever she wants you guys to know where she is on social media. And then we're just going to wrap it up. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. So, Erica, go ahead and, you know, let them know where your book is. I mean, not your book, your YouTube channel or whatever social media or whatever. Yeah. Erica, I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Oh, shoot. My bad.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, okay. So, like, I'm strongly considering changing the name of my YouTube channel. Like I said, this is just something, you know, it's like a memory. It's in the past. I'm moving forward. But for right now, it's Loved by Erica, and that's L-U-V-D by Erica with a C. And to specify one last time about my book, there's nothing in my book that's going to be bashing them, because, like I said, I wish them all success. Like, I really hope that this was a wake-up call for them, because they could have seriously got hurt. So there's not going to be, it's going to specifically be about me losing everything again after I regained everything this year. Mm-hmm. And now, you know, a year from now, like, I want you guys to see the growth. And that's what I feel like life is. It's about growing. It's about learning from your mistakes. And that would be stupid as ever if you go through something and you don't learn from it. And let's be honest here. If I didn't go through this, I wouldn't be able to help somebody else. So instead of people focusing on me, you know, calling me stupid and dumb and stuff, just look at it like this. I probably helped your child out. Your child was probably going to go and do something stupid to try to fit in, or I'm just hypothetically speaking. And now after seeing this, they'll know that, you know, that's not a good decision at all. So, I do have an Instagram. It's in all of the descriptions. My YouTube videos. I'm sorry, I got so many messages coming in right now, but yeah, I would just say just stay tuned, because even just hearing myself speak is like I'm encouraging myself as I'm speaking. So like I'm already ready to just get back out there, and this was like motivation, even the calls. And once again, if I offended anybody, or if I just sounded like I'm just on a defense mode, just please understand that I have been through a lot this year, and I'm not coming at you that way to be mean, harsh, or hurtful, or anything in that matter. And I do apologize if it seemed like I was. I just ask for you guys to just continue to just keep me and my son in you guys' prayers, and just stay tuned for whatever God has next for us.
Okay, and spell your channel name out, because some people were saying in the chat that they could not find it. So spell it out. Is it spelled L-O-V-E-D or?
Oh, no. It's L-U-V-D by Erica with a C. So L-U-V-D-B-Y-E-R-I-C-A.
Oh, okay. All right, guys. So you guys can find her on her YouTube channel, and that's where you can figure out any announcements that she has regarding her book. And if you go to her channel, and the link's in the description box, you can find out where she is on social media as far as her Instagram. I want to thank you, Erica, for coming on my platform and sharing your story with everybody. And I want to thank everybody who is tuning in. Until next time, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to hit that like button. share this video, and also subscribe to my channel if you like what you see. And if you want to be notified next time I have an interview or go live or anything like that, turn on the notification bell so that you're notified when I post another video. But thank you guys so much, and we are